Once again, welcome back to your soft skill classes. I am Neetu Rana, and today's discussion will be on performance management. So, Peter Drucker, he's a great thinker and a business writer. You would, if you do your MBA, you will be reading his books. Says that what is measured improves, right? So, anything that we understand has a number attached to it, has a criteria on which we understand whether we did well or not, has a better chance of improving, specifically when we are talking about organizational goals, about our personal and professional goals, right? It's a good thing to keep a track of it because it helps us become better. All right, so let me take you through this and let's see why is it important for you to understand performance management. Okay. So, what is the definition of performance management? It aims at developing individuals with the required commitment and competencies for working towards the shared meaningful objectives within an organizational framework. You're students right now, right? And performance management systems and performance management assessments are very regularly done in your corporate environment. You will be moving to the corporate environment in, let's say, another 6 months or another, probably by the end of by the 4th semester, the companies will be coming in, and in most of the companies it is biannual or annual, and based on this, on your achievement of competencies and whatever you have actually committed to, whether you have been able to achieve that or not, performance management systems are put into place and your assessment is done, and based on these is where your promotions will be decided. Okay. So, what are the objectives that a good robust performance management system wants to achieve? So, the objective is to improve both individual and organizational performance, right? So, it's like charity begins at home. So, home is the individual, the person. If every person in the organizations are made up of people, if every person in the organization is performing to the best of their capability, the organization automatically goes ahead and improves and achieves its goals. Okay. Identified performance requirements. If we are not measuring our performance, there is no way to understand where we are lacking, where are the things that are going wrong, right? So, performance management system gives us that ability to assess ourselves and work on our areas that need improvement. Okay. It is a very important part of feedback framework. Without feedback, without understanding what went wrong or what was done really very well, it is very difficult for any person to improve. You've been getting feedback since the first day of school, or maybe when your mom and dad are trying to tell you how better to do something, right? And it assists, most importantly, and this is where your WIFM is, this is what's in it for you. If you have a good, robust performance management system in the organization that you have joined, your career is going to go to the stars if you have been managed in a good, robust performance management system, if you have been given good feedback. That is what experience comprises of. If you have been given a feedback which took care of detailing your strengths, which took care of understanding where you need to work, and which also showed the future potential that you might have, the areas where you can get more knowledge in, more strength in, right? With this kind of a system, you will be able to work on yourself better, and even if you're not in that company, 5 years down the line, you become a better person and a better employee, and you have more experience because you had your goals charted out for you and you achieved those goals, and you understood your weaknesses and you worked on them. So, you were evolving as a person and as an employee all the time while you were working there. Okay. All right. What does it aim to achieve? So what does a performance system, high performance culture for individuals as well as teams and organizations, okay? So organization is formed of individuals and teams. It ensures continuous improvement, all right? Onus and responsibility of developing, improving and achieving business goals. It ensures that the company is running on the right track all the time. And we have checks and measures in place which take care of whenever, if there is a deviation, we take care of those things and everything is back on track, okay? Also, this ensures that we are able to meet up with the requirements of the changing environment. If we are evaluating ourselves vis-a-vis the competition, if we are evaluating ourselves vis-a-vis what is happening in the scenario in the economy right now, and we are at always one step ahead of understanding all this through our performance management systems, by resetting our goals, we can always be competitive. We can always have a competitive edge vis-a-vis the others, okay? Meet set standards. All the organizations who are trying to achieve certain goals will always have standards predefined. When you are dealing with clients, when you have your service level agreements, you will have standards predefined for you. Having a robust performance management system ensures that the organization's standards are met at all costs. Everybody is in line with what they are supposed to deliver, okay? And last but not the least, raise competence bar by increasing own skills. A excellent, robust performance management system will always ensure that they work on your competence. If you have 5 things that you're really good at and 2 things that you need to work on, this kind of an environment will give you a situation where you're able to work on those 2 things as well and add a new skill whenever you're ready for that, right? This kind of a system will always encourage innovation. It will encourage people who are out of the box thinkers. It will encourage great new ideas, because they understand that in today's ever changing world, great new ideas and innovation are going to be the saving grace whenever we want to have more competition, whenever we want to be better than the best, okay? All right, what do they focus on? So a good performance management system focuses on enabling goals, clarity vis-a-vis individual roles and organizational objectives. So once you have a good performance management system, you would understand what exactly does my role comprise of, what are the interjection with the organizational objectives that I am trying to. So by achieving this particular individual goal or this particular job role that I have, this is how I am contributing to the organization, and then making people do the right thing in the right time. You have timelines, you have standards, you have everything set for you. So you know that you need to deliver something within this particular time frame. Okay? Achieve the capacity of the employees to their full attention. Obviously, if you understand what you are supposed to deliver, if you understand how you are being measured, if you understand that this is where you want to reach, step 1, step 2, step 3, this is where you want to reach, you will perform to the best of your potential, right? That is the kind of support system an excellent performance management will give you. Okay? Define expectations in terms of roles, responsibilities and accountabilities. When you lay down a good performance management system, you are going to the nitty-gritty of defining the job role, of defining the goals within the role, that each and every key areas of performance that are being required from you. So with that kind of a detailing, the measurement goes down to the absolute detail, and you're able to understand what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do that. You get training vis-a-vis your performance levels, and you're able to accomplish far better all your responsibilities and accountabilities. Define required competencies and behavior. It will even tell you what is it that you're required to do and what is your competence level for this particular task that is required. So you're able to judge your own competency level vis-a-vis, and you can work on it, you can become better at it, right? Okay. Primary goal of a performance management system is to ensure that the organization as a system and its subsystem work together in an integral fashion, accomplishing optimum results or outcome. All of us are here to take the organization to the next level. Having a good performance management system ensures that we are able to do that. Okay. What exactly does the performance management system comprise of? Okay. So this is when you go to the absolute details. This is when you go in understanding what are all the aspects that can be covered to enhance your performance, to set standards. So, analyzing your job, okay, key performance indicators and accountabilities, your detailed job description, getting the correct people for this particular job, right, selecting the talent, then setting expectations, then setting performance standards, okay. Then setting a reward and recognition system for the people who have been able to achieve the expectations that was established in the beginning, okay. Then performance appraisal, okay, setting expectations and accountability. In case things are not going the right way, then setting up a disciplinary process. Level 1, level 2, counseling, how can I help you, how can I make you better, is there a personal situation that you are going through that where you need the organization's support, everything can be covered under this, alright. And then the most important, learning and development, continuously working on making people better through training enhancement, through training interventions and learning and development, understanding the skill gaps through a proper training need assessment, and then going ahead and coaching and mentoring them so that they become better at their jobs. And then succession planning. What do you understand? But once you go through all this, we are able to identify our best performers. Those best performers then come to, within the close circle of the next set of leaders. And succession planning is where we identify the best performers who can take the role or the job once they have matured to that level. It helps us identify the high performers, and it helps us plan their careers better in the organization. It encourages loyalty, it encourages and appreciates people who are contributing their best to the organization, right? Okay. All right. So, there was a concept of performance appraisal and performance management, right. I want you to understand the difference. Performance appraisal is something that is very specific, it is very individual, whereas performance management is a whole gamut of activities spread throughout the organization, and it is a bigger circle, whereas performance appraisal is just a part of performance management. So, what does performance appraisal, which you are going to go through once you are in the job, focuses on? It focuses on top-down assessment. So, your manager will be sitting down with you and making a assessment of whatever you have done. Okay. It is performed annually once. Based on the results of these performance appraisals, you are generally given your hikes and increments. And usage of rating is very common. It focuses on traits that you have tried. There are various methods, and your personal traits as a person, as an employee, are evaluated, and whether you have been able to accomplish those traits or not is something that is assessed. It is a monolithic system. It has been there for a very long time. It is a very old way of assessing the employee's performance, and it is, like I said, your pay generally depends on it, your increment generally depends on it. So, it has a very strong monetary association. And then what is a performance management system? Once again, it stresses on mutual objective setting through a process of joint dialogue. That means you are also involved in collaboration with people who are assessing you, in understanding what your needs are, in understanding what your abilities are, in understanding where you need to work on. Okay? Continuous reviews are performed. Then rating is less common. Okay? And then we focus on quantifiable objectives, objectives that can be achieved, values and behavior. It is a flexible system and it is not directly related to your pay, although in many organizations that can be possible. It is more focused on making you a better professional, okay, and relating that to the performance of the organization. What are the benefits? The benefits of having a good performance management system is ensuring that the employees understand their contribution. Very important. You go out there in a huge organization with hundreds, thousands, 10,000 employees working. Your own project team is probably 70, 80 people and you don't know what you're supposed to do. What kind of a situation will that be for you? So, a good performance management system helps you in ensuring that you understand where and what your contribution to the organization is going to be, ensuring that each employee understands what is expected of them, equally ascertain whether the employee possesses the required skills to be on that project or not, right? Ensuring proper aligning or linking of objectives of the organization and facilitating effective communication throughout the organization, right? And last but not the least, the most important benefit is facilitating a cordial and harmonious relationship between the individual employee and the line manager based on trust and empowerment. Remember, I said we don't leave companies, we don't leave organizations, we leave a toxic environment or we leave a bad boss. When we have this kind of a setup, when we have things that are so transparent and so well organized, and there are so many opportunities of communicating what you're feeling like. That is what a good organization is made of. These are the organizations where you want to work and you want to become better at everything and you contribute as if you are the profit head of that particular organization. That is the kind of framework that a good performance management system will provide you. Okay. What is continuous performance management process? I want you to understand that performance is cyclical. You never stop performing if you're working in a company. So, let's understand how this works. That you have a personal goal, project, task ideally aligned with the organization goals that are entered into the system. You take note when tasks and goals are accomplished and the manager sees the progress, and then co-workers and managers give. So, there are various tools of giving feedback. There is a 360-degree feedback, there is peer feedback and a lot of other stuff where we can actually assess along with everybody else as to where we are standing. And co-workers, managers give real-time feedback on activities and identify strengths and suggest for improvement, and managers and employee hold periodic check-in and discussions. So, you have a one-on-one with your manager to understand where you are and how you can become better. Okay. And all this is in a software, aggregate and summarizes employees' progress for optimal formal review. So, everything is transparent, everything is on the paper and everything is documented, and this helps you to understand what happened, how it happened and how you can work on it better. All right. Okay. So, what are the important steps? The first important step, like I said, is basically self-evaluation. You need to understand where you are at. Okay. From that particular position, you will be able to pitch yourself better to the company. Okay. Performance evaluation, and this is where the supervisor tries to understand whether your understanding of where you are at is same as his, and whether the what are the things that needs to be worked on. He identifies areas where you want to become better, and then there is a mid-year check-in of how you have worked on things that were decided at the beginning of the year, financial year, and then evaluating and discussing goal settings. So, basically so this is how we will go. First, you will go ahead and self-evaluate, then your manager is going to help you evaluate your performance, and then you will set goals with the manager, and you will you will have a mid-year evaluation, re-evaluation, and then an annual re-evaluation of the same. So, this is the way your cycle will go, and these are the steps to performance management system. I want you to look at this slide a little carefully, and then I want you to see how, as a student in your current scenario, you can get some advantage out of it. So, are you capable? Because very soon you will be in a corporate environment, very soon you will be, this will be a part of your regular profile. So, try and think, are you in a position to self-evaluate yourself as to how you are right now? Is there a peer, a senior, or someone whom you respect, a mentor or a coach, who can help you understand what your goals can be and how they can be accomplished? Then I want you to make smart goals, goals that can be measured, goals that are very specific. I want you to enumerate those goals and go ahead and work on them. Okay? Can we do that right now as students as well? And then do a mid-year evaluation of whether we have been honest to ourselves and whether we have been able to achieve those goals or not. Try and think of it. Okay? Here's another exercise that you might want to do. So, just go to any of your peers and understand where do you fall on this. This is basically a performance assessment. And where do you fall on independent work? Where do you fall on communication? Whether you were satisfactory. So, you guys have a lot of, you people have a lot of projects that are there. You interact with your fellow students. You work in teams. Do a self-evaluation and understand what do they think of you. And where do you understand, where do you fall on all these traits? Whether you were satisfactory or unsatisfactory. This will give you an idea of how actually the rest of your professional life is going to be measured. And it is very important that you have great relationship with people and you are able to work those relationships to the best of all, for the advantage of all, to accomplish the goal that all of you decided to reach at the beginning of the activity, and also to accomplish your happiness and your personal goals as well. Okay? So, the last key takeaway that I want from this particular chapter that we just completed for you is, unless commitment is made, there are only promises, hopes, but no plans. And until unless you define your roles, you write it down, until unless you measure yourself against achieving those particular goals, everything is just hope, everything is just in the air, and we can hope that everything works out, right? Thank you so much for being on this journey with me, and I am glad that you gave me this particular time. Please put your questions down there in the comments. I'll be more than happy to help you. God bless, and thank you so much once again.